The Tanzania National Parks Agency, TANAPA, vows to continue to maintain international quality standards in the provision of their services so as to continue attracting tourists to visit the nation's attractions. Speaking in Dar es Salaam, the Commissioner General of Conservation, CPA Musa Nasoro Kuji, says the award, which was given at the dinner hosted by ESQR in Stockholm, Sweden, over the weekend, Kuji is being dedicated to President Samia Suluhu Hassan for efforts in promoting tourism through the Royal Tour and Amazing Tanzania promotional film. He made the remarks upon his arrival in the country following the agency's European Award for Quality Choice Achievement 2025 victory in the Diamond category presented by the European Society for Quality Research, ESQR.
It means we are offering good services. Our customers understand us. Our customers do increase their visitation. Our customers do increase their stay days. We have a lot of earnings from them, and so far and so forth. The government is also supporting us.
On the other hand, the Senior Assistant Commissioner for Conservation, Godwill Ole, and the Deputy Commissioner for Conservation, Asteri Ndaga, insist the award is a catalyst to boost further the quality of services provided by the agency.
I would say our efforts have paid. That's why we've been recognized. So we are dedicating this prize to our President, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan. He's our champion on this. This is our prize. It's not our prize. This is our prize. Of course, it's for all Tanzanians. It's for all of us. It has inspired us. This is something that will give us more energy to work, to improve our tourism, to receive more customers, but also to manage the parks. Because the park, once we manage the parks successfully, then tourism comes in and we are going to have more tourists and more revenue from our tourism.
As alone as conservationists, the National Parks Agents or the Ministry of Natural Resources will not be able to preserve these natural resources on our own, so we always involve the community. The Commissioner General is always encourage every conservation area to have good relations with the community.
TANAPA has received the award for the 6th consecutive time, beating 42 countries in the world. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Energy, Dr. Biteko, says for the clean cooking energy agenda target to be achieved by 2034, all ministries, media, religious leaders, and the private sector must embrace and have one say over the agenda. Here's a report by Linus Gamarra, read by Kanki Wagamole.
2.1 billion people around the world are said to still use unclean energy for cooking, with 47.1% originating from Africa. Tanzania has made a huge stride in ensuring its population embraces on clean cooking energy agenda, opening the conference to launch the National Clean Cooking Communication Strategy Awareness Campaign. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Energy, Dr. Biteko, says Tanzania has made massive progress in the use of clean energy.
Tumehama kutoka 6% mwaka wa jana na sasa tumepanda kufika 16% mwaka huu.
We have moved from 6% last year to 16% this year.
Call for one voice, one say on the use of clean energy for cooking was raised.
Hili si jambo la Wizara ya Nishati wala ofisi ya makamu wa rais. Ni jambo la serikali nzima.
This is not the Ministry of Energy or the President Office's responsibility, but rather the entire government. We will change our people's perception.
Another call is on embracing the efforts done by the innovators of clean energy technologies.
Kama anakuja mtu kijana mdogo ana teknolojia, mnamwangalia kwa sura yake, mnasema huyu ataweza kweli, madalali. Na bahati mbaya tunawaita madalali wa Tanzania wenzetu.
Give the youth a chance to be innovative with regards to clean energy.
In the introductory remarks, some government leaders explained the importance of the strategic campaign to deliver on the objectives of the clean cooking energy agenda.
Naamini mkakati huu wa mawasiliano utaenda kuleta tija kubwa katika kuendelea kuelimisha.
I believe this communication strategy will be productive in education and motivating our communities to bring about a revolution in the society and accept clean cooking methods and realize that clean cooking is not a luxury but a right, a need and a responsibility for all of us.
Jumbe za uhamasishaji zimeandaliwa katika namna ambayo hazipendelei nishati ya aina moja tu ya kupikia kuliko nyingine.
Awareness messages have been prepared that do not favor only one type of energy, but represent all options as alternatives, which will help to protect our health, the environment, and the increased access to clean cooking energy.
Naamini kupitia mkakati huu maalum wa taifa wa mawasiliano,
I believe that this communication strategy will greatly help build partnerships and collaborations in conveying this message to the public in order to be able to unite efforts and build a strong coalition to further advance this agenda.
The 130 billion shillings National Clean Energy Communication Strategy is expected to be completed in 2034 and is carried out under the slogan, Clean Energy for Cooking Saves Lives and the Environment.
Treasury Registrar Nehemiah Mchechu says dividend payments to the government has been increasing by 50% every year, despite the fact that a number of companies that pay dividends is comparatively small, where in 2023-2024, only 17 companies have paid dividends out of 56 companies, which is equivalent to 31%. Mchechu made the remarks in Dar es Salaam while briefing the media editors about the achievements and transformative and strategic plans of the Treasury Registrar's Office, insisting that so far the collections have reached 900 billion, with the target being 1 trillion before reaching June 10th this year.
Ili katika serikali tuweze kuendelea kama nchi, hizi taasisi lazima zibadilike kwa sababu ndio walioshikilia hizo rasilimali.
In order for us as a government to continue as a country, these institutions must change because they are the ones who hold our resources. That is why I advise that reforms are important and must be made in institutions for the sake of public property. There must be changes in what we do with these assets entrusted to us for the benefit of Tanzania.
June 10th this year is expected to be the dividend payment day, where the event will be held at the State House, bringing together institutions under the Treasury Registrar's Office to be hosted by President Samia Suluhu Hassan. And on to the next story. Dodoma Regional Commissioner Rosemary Senyamule urges the residents of the region to capitalize on the Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan Outreach Services Program, comprising of specialist doctors from June 2nd to the 6th. Senyamule made their call in Dodoma while receiving the team of medical specialists, stressing that many medical challenges will be resolved through the program, while some of the specialist doctors participating in the program insisting that they are fully prepared for the medical camp.
Tangu tarehe 2 leo mpaka tarehe 6 ambapo utaipata kwa ukaribu.
We are here from today to the 6th. Medical services should be provided at an affordable price right there at the district hospital. I urge the citizens to take advantage of this opportunity as our president has made it easier for Dodoma citizens to access this service.
Madaktari tumewapeleka katika wilaya za pembezoni.
We have sent these doctors to the peripheral districts where there is a great need of their specializations, where we believe citizens will receive these services. We have sent these doctors to peripheral districts where there is a great need of their specializations, where we believe citizens will receive these services.
The Dr. Samia Specialized Outreach Program aims to bring specialist services closer to the communities and reduce the cost of treatment, and currently it is in its 3rd phase. Media coverage of elections in Tanzania is guided by a number of key laws, including the National Election Act, Media Services Act of 2016, and Political Parties Act. These laws are designed to promote fairness, peace, and responsibility in the electoral process. And as Tanzania is heading to the polls later this year, We ask journalists if they have enough awareness and understanding of these laws. Aidan Gaga reports on our new segment, Beyond the Ballot.
The legal framework exists to ensure that the media contributes positively, avoiding incitement, disinformation, and bias. It's about protecting the public interest during sensitive times. From urban centers to remote villages, journalists in Tanzania work under tight deadlines, and they have to maintain accuracy. The media laws guide their tone, balance, and accuracy, especially before the campaigns, during voting, and even after the results. But the question is, are the journalists aware of these laws as guiding principles?
As Tanzania prepares for the general election, also reporters are preparing themselves to report in a fair and a professional way. Giving example of the Tanzania Broadcasting Corporation, I can confidently say that we are ready to report about the general election because we have undergone a special training that we are very sure we are going to report the general election carefully because we now understand the rules about election, but also the media laws.
It is very important for journalists to have a prior knowledge or a prior understanding on how to report about general elections. And most especially because it's a very sensitive season and it's a very sensitive time, and to know what to write, when to write it, and how to write it is very important. Also to know what to say, when to say it, and how to say it, it is very important. For example, at TBC, we have had several trainings on how to report the general elections and what to do during the general elections. I also think most of the journalists here in Tanzania have a prior and a clear understanding on how to report about general elections.
Initiatives by the Media Council of Tanzania, TAMA, and other civil society partners have strengthened journalists' understanding of legal responsibilities, especially regarding hate speech, equal airtime, and misinformation. The relationship between regulators and the media continues to evolve. Constructive dialogue and training have helped build mutual understanding. In the end, journalists are accountable not just to laws, but to the public. Accurate, balanced election coverage is key to building trust in democratic institutions. Aidan Gaga, TBC News.
Academics and scholars from higher education institutions in the country have been urged to take advantage of the advancement of artificial intelligence technology, AI, to multiply its positive contribution to national development. The statement was made by the senior lecturer from the Mbeya University of Science and Technology, MUST, during the launch of the Innovation Week held at the university campus. Our reporter, Irene Makalinga, has more.
It is the Science Week of Innovation here at Mbeya University of Science and Technology, discussing the importance and challenges of the use of artificial intelligence so as to entice positive attitude towards the technology that will enable them to compete in the job market immediately after graduation. MUST University lecturer Dr. Peter Nyagawa urges the scholars to look at how they will use AI in addressing the challenges facing the society.
What you want exactly, artificial intelligence is a very important and the best tool to go with the speed of changing world, because world is changing so fast. What is new today, tomorrow is outdated. It's up to us. How can we challenge ourselves? How can we challenge our mind so that we are becoming updated by using artificial intelligence?
The artificial intelligence, machine learning, and quantum computing, very advanced techniques are introduced in the science.
Dr. Benedetta Lugumisa is the head of the Department of Medical Science and Technology, along with the chairman of Science Week from the Faculty of Applied Sciences at MUST University. Dr. Peter Mwanyika discussed the importance of the use of AI in analyzing what students are learning.
Science is really, and it is us scientists that are going to solve the problem that we are facing in our society every day. And we cannot avoid using AI because it will help us get the answers easily and quickly, because the problem do not wait for us. They are here and they need the answers right now.
So we train our students to be skilled and use AI as an opportunity, as an asset, so that when they integrate with their knowledge and skills that they acquire, they will be able to integrate that in the employment.
On their part, most students thanked the university for their support and promised to use artificial intelligence to simplify the technologies in their daily life.
I advise to my fellow students or young to use AI or artificial intelligence for the better future and better knowledge in order to build the better nation and better generation.
Yeah, you can use AI to search for creative ideas. AI can act as assistant. You explain your idea to AI, and AI can give its own ideas on how to fix the issue.
Irene Mwakalinga, TBC, Mbeya.
The Vice-Chancellor of the Open University of Tanzania, Professor Alex Makulilo, vows to oversee mission and vision of the university for the wider interest of the nation. Professor Alex Makulilo made the remarks in Dar es Salaam immediately after assuming his responsibilities as the fourth Vice-Chancellor.
This is the highest position within the university. It carries a lot of obligations, and there are a lot of expectations, not only from the employees, students, and the community around the university. And of course, our stakeholders abroad. So I understand that this is a great position and there are a lot of responsibilities. And I very much believe that through cooperations, working together with my colleagues, it will be very, very much possible for me to carry out the mission and the vision of our university.
Furthermore, Professor Makulilo thanked the retired Prime Minister and Chancellor of the Open University of Tanzania, Mizengo Pinda, for appointing him as the Vice-Chancellor of the university.
I feel greatly honored and humbled to be appointed for this position. It is very, very grateful, and I feel very, very good to be in this position.
Professor Alex Makulilo replaces Tanzanian academic professor of mechanical engineering, Professor Elifas Bisanda, who has been serving as Vice-Chancellor of Open University of Tanzania since 2015. Despite entrepreneurship being a solution to unemployment and a catalyst for economic growth, access to capital remains the top challenge. Speaking to TBC News, the Managing Director of Boston Consulting Group Limited, who is also an expert in entrepreneurship, says despite many young people having ideas, but without financial backing, the ideas are most likely to stay on paper.
It is very important for young people to understand that employment is not the final solution. It is beneficial for them to acquire diverse skills so they can create self-employment opportunities, especially when things don't go as planned. Hard work and dedication are essential because entrepreneurship demands commitment and sacrifice. One must be consistent in making and implementing decisions on time, even when failure occurs. It is not the end, rather, it is an opportunity to try again, because the first and most important form of capital is in a person's mind.
Entrepreneurship, with its focus on opportunities, is often seen as one of the cornerstones of poverty alleviation in sub-Saharan Africa. But access to capital remains a challenge that limits the scale of sustainability of entrepreneurial ventures, hindering potential to significantly impact the economy and address unemployment. In case you missed any of our stories, remember you can always go to our YouTube channel at TBC Online and watch anytime, anywhere across the globe. Before concluding the local news, let's take a look at today's exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania, BOT. Don't miss TBC News every weekday to know all the latest in exchange rates. Time now for all the latest in international news.
Meetings on tackling transnational organized crime across the region. High on the agenda are efforts to improve cooperation among member states, share information effectively, and coordinate joint operations targeting criminal networks. The crimes are drug and firearms trafficking, motor vehicle theft, human trafficking, smuggling of migrants, money laundering, stock theft, and cybercrime. The meeting aligns with the SADC Regional Indicative Strategic Development Plan for 2020-2030. Inspector General of the Tanzania Police Force, Camillus Wambura, will chair the meeting and is expected to hand over the leadership to Malawi's Inspector General of Police. The annual meeting serves as a key platform for the region's police leadership to coordinate efforts and strengthen the fight against cross-border criminal syndicates. Police spokesperson Deputy Commissioner Gona Shikwambi confirmed that a delegation from Nampol will attend the meeting.
Despite abundant water resources, both surface and underground ones, it has been noted Africa still has about 400 million people without access to safely managed water and 800 million without access to sanitation. As the third Pan-African Implementation and Partnership Conference on Water concluded in Lusaka this Thursday, stakeholders, delegates and ministers agreed more needs to be done to ensure water is made a priority in all areas of development.
That water as Africa's most strategic resource and foundation of our prosperity, resilience, dignity, and unity, and therefore appreciate that strengthening water security and sustainable sanitation is a prerequisite for economic growth.
For us to grow economy, for us to seek development in our areas, we need enough accessibility of water, the water that is on the blue drop, clean, drinkable, safe water.
The Minister of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development, Dr. Anxious Masuka, underscored the need for a paradigm shift in managing water resources.
And when we're looking at water, we're looking at the whole loop, from harvesting it, conveying it, reticulating it, through to wastewater treatment. And in the past, the water sanitation nexus has not been clearly articulated. That we need to continue to amplify the nexus between water, food, energy, aquaculture, so that water becomes an investment case.
The departing words from the gathering is the urgent need for coordinated African-led solutions to challenges of water scarcity, climate change, and sustainable infrastructure. Memory Chamisa, ZPC News, Lusaka.
That was international news. Sports news up next. And in sports news, the president of the East Africa Pickleball Association, Kartik Kapoor, says they are working hard to develop the game in Tanzania to create employment opportunities for the youth and promote socialization within the community. President Kapoor told TBC in Dar es Salaam that their efforts include supplying playing equipment, training coaches, and building courts as part of their strategy to establish the sport across the country.
So the good thing about pickleball is it doesn't require too much to build a court. It requires a flat, hard surface and a net, 2 paddles and a ball. And the equipment is relatively cheap and easy to get. So as part of the efforts of the association, of the Tanzania Pickleball Association, as well as the Confederation of African Pickleball, what we're doing is we're sending our teams out into the country, introducing the games at clubs across Tanzania, and donating equipment, training players, making sure that the game is introduced to the wider community in Tanzania.
I think we get a lot of people from outside because we as well have supported our Tanzanian local
players to go outside and play the game. So we also get the exposures and they come back here. So we're very happy with that. The competition is extremely tight. It's very, very competitive, and we're happy that everybody is out here to play. Thank you.
Pickleball is a new sport introduced in Tanzania, aimed at bringing people together and creating various opportunities for the community, including business and employment. That is sports news, and now before we conclude the news bulletin for tonight, let's take a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours.
Hello dear viewers, welcome to the next 24 hours weather forecast from Tanzania Meteorological Authority. My name is Desderi Moses. From the windy patterns analysis, light to moderate windy is expected over different parts of our country, with the state of the sea expected to be moderate. Tonight, over Lindi and Mtwara regions are expected to feature partly cloudy condition, rain showers over a few areas, while over Unguja and Pemba ISOs are expected to feature light rain showers over a few areas. And the remaining part of our country is expected to be mainly dry. Now, in terms of temperatures, cool temperatures are expected to persist over different parts of our country, especially over the southwestern highland regions, where the lowest minimum temperature is expected to be 9 degrees Celsius over Njombe region. Tomorrow, it is our expectation that over Kagera and Imara regions are expected to feature partly cloudy condition, thunder showers over a few areas, and sun periods. Over Unguja and Pemba ISOs, together with Lindi and Mtwara regions, these areas are expected to feature light rain showers over a few areas, and the remaining part of our country is expected to be mainly dry. Now, let us have a look at the weather forecast for the next 4 days for some regions in our country. Rain showers is expected over Dar es Salaam. Sun periods are expected to persist over Dodoma. Mbeya is expected to feature sun periods in the next 4 days. Mwanza as well is expected to feature sun periods. Kilimanjaro is also expected to feature sun periods in the next 4 days. Morogoro expected to feature sun period. Arusha as well, persistence of sun period is expected in the next 4 days. From Tanzania Meteorological Authority, until next time, thank you.
That marks the end of the news bulletin for tonight. Don't miss our next bulletin in Kiswahili at 11 p.m. On behalf of the whole team, I am Teddy Mpanyanga. Catch us again tomorrow at the same time, same place.